I have two Yu-Gi-Oh creators. There's Farfa and MBT. Both of you say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to show you pairs of Hearthstone cards, and you amongst each other will try to discuss which of the cards you think is better. You guys are competing against one another, so there is a hint of gaslighting or lying that needs to be done in order for you to get more points than your opponent. Everyone understand the rules?
I'm smarter than you, so I should get all of these correct, and you will not get as many as me.
I will say that I have been practicing a lot in card evaluation of Hearthstone. I actually did like 10 or 15 evaluations about a week ago as part of a practice regimen. So I feel pretty good about it.
That's just a thing that's available online. There's just like card evaluation, like cool math games, like HTML games or something, but it's like evaluating cards.
In terms of Hearthstone experience, Joseph used to play up until the Witchwood. Farfa is a competitive pro in Hearthstone. Recently has played it up to last year.
That's true.
So this should be a pretty spicy match overall. All of these cards are based on when they were in Standard, and they're all pretty recent, so that guarantees none of you guys have ever seen these cards before.
Yeah, I mean, I've been taking tutelage from Hunter Ace himself, so let's go.
Okay.
Malefic Rook. An epic 3-drop with 5/6 battle cry, attack your hero.
Ooh, and I have Observer of Mysteries. A 2/2 for 3. It says battle cry, cast 2 random secrets at the start of your turn. Destroy them. All right, there's just no way we're going to be able to evaluate this one, right? All right.
These feel very
Are there good
close.
secrets? Could you just tell me if there are good secrets?
I will say the secrets can be impactful. Like it's very like, they could be
It's
really
a neutral
good or really
card
bad.
as well, right?
Yeah, it's a neutral
So
card.
it could be any secrets, like any secret.
Any secret. You can basically treat it as like you remember like explosive trap? Remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
So explosive trap, freezing trap. There's still like ice barrier, which is like gain 8 armor. Like there's secrets that will impact the game. I'll just put it like that.
Okay.
If they're not like they're bad. They're not bad.
And without like cheating too much, can I ask, is 5/6 good stats for a 3-drop?
That's absolutely insane.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's big boy.
That's
sure.
turbo premium. Both of these cards, by the way, are from this newest set. So they're in a 4-set standard rotation.
Oh, wait a minute. Like the set that just came out?
Just came out.
Oh, well, then how the hell are we supposed to do these? You idiots haven't figured out if these are good or not yet.
we have definitely figured out which one of these two is played.
Like,
I
okay,
have a question for you, Joseph. How familiar are you with the opening Sicilian cum gambit?
Farfa, I have watched so many streams of yours, and every day you find a new way to say a sentence that makes me uncomfortable. What do you mean opening Sicilian cum? What are you spending too much time with Nesh or something? What does this mean?
I'm just curious what your chess knowledge is like.
It's
Nice.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's not
Now that's
great.
just a really weird joke since you didn't make the correlation between Rook and what I just said. I just seem really weird.
That was out of nowhere, bro.
This is
now.
a great
What do you mean
introduction
now?
to your audience. I
Dude,
hope
this is-
all of the Rarran
this is
fans
also-
are watching like, huh?
Farfa, this is really gross of you. I would never do anything like this to you, say anything about any kind of gross bodily fluid or a place where it might come from. This is like really disgusting. I legitimately, could we get someone else on here? It's a little more family friendly, like like Nim Nim.
Okay, brand risk Joey. Let's not start on your
Hey, whoa! I would just like to tell any Konami employees watching that I have extensive knowledge of chess, and I also have extensive knowledge of Zulok. Do people still play Zulok? Because this looks crazy in that deck.
Zulok is not really a thing currently. It's
Damn, that's rough.
Yeah, I would say like the Zulok that you probably remember doesn't really exist.
I don't know. I'm in a really weird position here. I feel like both of these cards are just hot ass. I could see like Observer of Mysteries being good if they're like, I'm trying to think of secrets that it might hit. And like, I guess there's some scenarios where like,
How can you think of
what
any
if you hit,
secrets though?
like,
Because like we don't know the current
Here, you
rotation.
know what I'll
Like,
do for you guys?
we don't know the secrets.
I'll show
They're
you
in
this
core, you know, like there's core secrets. There's like
Is there?
redemption and shit, right?
Is like Ice Barrier a core secret or something?
Yes,
a classic? Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Oh,
yes.
Damn. 8 armor, Pog.
Hold on. I'll help you guys out.
Oh, it's all the normal
Explosive and
secrets.
freezing are just in and counter spell? Is this all of the things it can hit?
These are all the things that can hit, yeah.
It can't hit Paladin
mean-
secrets?
There are
these are pretty
currently
good.
no Paladin secrets in the standard format. They rotated them out.
Oh, they took them out?
They took them out. They're all gone.
What is it called? Christmas Tree Paladin? Not
Yeah,
a thing anymore?
Christmas Tree Paladin is gone.
Ugh.
Anyways, pretty decent secrets to get. But there's the actual secrets that you can get.
Yeah. I know what I'm picking.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Joseph, you give me first.
I'm going to go with Malefic Rook. I think it's a very good aggro card. You lose a little bit of life, but I mean, I don't think you really care about that if you're trying to rush down your opponent. The reason is that I don't think Malefic Rook is particularly insane, because it is a lot. But it's really just Observer of Mysteries that feels not great to me. It's a 3-drop with not amazing stats. The secrets you get are random, and it destroys them at the start of the next turn. Okay. So for that reason, I think Rook is probably better.
Okay. Oh, I can get behind that. All right. Thank you. All right. What card do you think is better?
I know you said Zulok isn't real. I don't believe you. I think Malefic Rook is a better card. Observer is such a hard card to place, though, because like the concept is you cast it on 3 and then it time walks your opponent. Like they can't really contest the board because walking into a runes is so disastrous. If they go for like a spell play, getting countered is disastrous also. But I think just like there's enough secrets on here that do hot nothing, explosive, rat trap, and the like, that there's no way this card is good in any capacity. So if you are playing like one Malefic Rook a generation, I think it's doing better than Observer of Mysteries.
No, that makes perfect sense. Okay. Also, why would I lie to you that Zoo Warlock doesn't exist?
I don't know.
So I did say this at the start of the video, but I will not be telling you guys the answers to these questions until we get to the end of the video to make sure there's no bias being added into your decision making. So
Isn't that what we did last time?
Yes, but I didn't actually say that at the start of this one.
Okay.
So I just gotta make that very clear. Okay, here's your next pair. The green class is Demon Hunter. Okay, so just to give you a little bit more like context, Demon Hunter is like pretty aggressive, and then the left one is for mage.
Wait, left is me? Oh, I thought it was priest. Okay. I just assume all void cards are priest cards, to be fair. So we got Void Scripture, a 2-drop spell, shadow, discover a spell. If you have enough mana to play it, cast a copy of it at a random enemy.
And I got Runic Adornment, discover a spell that costs 3 or less. Shuffle 2 copies into your deck that cast when drawn. Are you going to give us any good cards?
I promise you that so far, one of each of these pairs have seen a lot of play.
These cards seem like ass. They seem so bad.
You seem like ass. Holy, this guy. Question about Void Scripture. So like, it discovers a spell. Is it like... does it any spell, or is it a mage spell specifically?
So when you discover, it can only discover cards from its class in neutral, but there is no neutral spells. So then it would only discover mage spells.
What if you hit a spell that doesn't actually do anything, like can't be targeted at an enemy? You would have to pick one that targets to get the bonus effect, or like can it hit like, I don't know, arcane? What's the draw one?
Arcane Intellect. So yeah, you could actually still get Arcane Intellect. It would just cast the spell, but it doesn't matter that it can't cast it on a random enemy. It still casts a copy of it, so you would still draw 2 cards.
Oh, 2 questions about this card. No matter what happens, you are getting a copy of the card to your hand.
Yes.
And 2, do you have to pay for the copy that you get if you have enough mana?
No.
I have made my decision.
Isn't it mandatory?
Is it what?
If you have enough mana?
You have to cast it if you have enough. It casts it automatically.
Cast it, but it doesn't cost you any mana to cast it?
Yes.
I think Oh, but Nadir, Runic Adornment, you get 2 copies. That's more. So I think it's Runic Adornment.
Potentially. I'm just like, I'm perplexed that like Rarran's head exploding using the word mandatory. Like that's pretty funny. That like Hearthstone players.
I've never heard the phrase like it's mandatory. Like it has to cast. Yeah, you're right. That is correct.
So when drawn, does it actually expend mana?
No, it will just cast.
I have my decision.
Okay, Joseph, you got yours?
Yep.
Okay, all right, Farfa, what card do you think is better?
I feel like he is trying to kind of gaslight me here by the way his language was being used there. Felt like he was really standing for Void Scripture, but this card seems like complete dog shit to me. Because like, it's 2 mana to just discover a spell.
Well,
which maybe has... Yeah, but like, I'm pretty... No, but like in the long term, you're getting like good value off of it, right? Because the whole point is that I assume the way Runic Adornment, where it basically does nothing for a turn, but like mid to late game, you're gonna be popping off and like doing a bunch of crazy stuff because it's like it doesn't expend the mana, and I assume there's good Demon Hunter spells. I could be completely like missing the point on this, but it feels like Runic Adornment is the good card here because I'm pretty sure like Demon Hunter is like the draw deck as well.
It is for sure.
Okay, I'm final answer. Runic Adornment is definitely the better card.
Okay,
here.
What card do you think is better?
I cannot believe you have me on tape saying that.
What?
Please, no one no one clip the part where I say, "Are you ever going to show us a good card?" So I misread Void Scripture. I'll cap to that. Yu-Gi-Oh players not known for their reading. Void Scripture is the better card, and in fact is probably one of the greatest cards I've ever read in my life. I would be shocked if this was anything other than like busted to shit.
What's your thoughts on Runic Adornment?
It's cool, I guess.
Why
it's
are you
one of
so
those,
like,
you know,
okay, yeah, go for it.
you know, sometimes they print epic spells and they're like, this spell does something crazy, but like that doesn't mean good. Like that's where I feel like this ends up. It's like, what are you going to get for 3 or less? And then I imagine when you draw it, does it also cycle, or is it actually just your draw for turn?
It cycles it. So you cast the spell and then you draw an additional card.
Yeah, I can't imagine anything being so important that you would spend your turn 2 doing this.
All right, here's the next two. Both of these are from the same expansion as well. I just want to double check on the keyword tradable. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it before.
Ooh,
I know how it works. Do you know how it works, Joseph?
Tradable.
You see,
no, I don't know what that is.
Tradable.
Okay, so you know how like
let him go.
Yu-Gi-Oh, you can like give a card to your opponent and then like they can give you one back of an equal value.
I'm familiar with the concept of bartering.
Yeah, so it's like that in Hearthstone, but it's like it costs a mana.
Okay,
But it's with your own deck.
Okay,
So it's nothing like that. It's nothing like that at all.
the way you describe that, I feel like I could lean towards yes, but basically, Joseph, the way it works is that if this card's in your hand, you could spend 1 mana, drag it over your deck, and you could get another card, but this shuffles back into your deck.
Hearthstone, the trading card game. I told you.
Oh my god. Whoa. Do they just put this ability on anything? It seems insane. It's like crazy, right?
It's not like it's not on everything, but yeah, it's probably one of the strongest keywords we've gotten recently. Like it's a very nuts keyword.
Cool concept. What a great idea. Holy.
Jive Insect. 5 spell. Lego, transform a minion into Ragnaros the Fire Lord. I know what Rag does.
You guys know both know what Rag is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know Rag.
Okay. What is he? It deals 8 to a random enemy at the end phase.
Yeah,
Is it called end phase? End of turn.
End of turn. I'm just gonna link it to you guys so you can see it again.
Owlstone misses lethal in children's card games. We remember Rag. Stranglethorn Heart. This card is tradable. Is an 8-drop, and it says resurrect all friendly beasts that cost 5 or more. I guess I have to ask, what is resurrect?
Okay, so when a beast dies, we don't have a graveyard in Hearthstone, obviously, you guys both know, but when a beast dies that costs 5 or more, and you play this, if 1 copy died, you summon 1. If 2 copy died, you summon 2, and then like upwards to 7 for your board space. Again, you could...
And if you exceed 7, does it just random?
If you see somebody, yeah, it'll be random. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're just trying to debate us with the tradable thing, so I think I have my answer.
What do you mean, bait you? It's a sick
I don't
fucking
know.
keyword.
I think Jive Insect is really bad because what if you target an opponent's minion? Then you have to deal with Ragnaros the Fire Lord and you're down 2 mana, right? Like,
you haven't really thought of the idea that you can replay spells and then you can make your entire board Ragnaros and then one-shot your opponent in like a YouTube video.
True.
What do you mean you can replay spells?
I don't know. There's probably some stupid Hearthstone card that can do multiple Jive Insects in a turn, right?
Yeah, that's probably true. I bet if I go search like funny and lucky Trollden moments, is he still uploading? I bet there's like 9 or 10 Jive Insects.
What's like the Yu-Gi-Oh equivalent of Hearthstone equivalent of like Tainted Wisdom, do you think? Like some guy who just makes like the dumbest combos in like table 500s for Hearthstone.
God, that's a good question. The only one I really
Used
know
to
is
be
like,
Disguised Toast.
Yeah, Hysteria is probably the
Back
one
in the
that
before
does that.
times. Oh, still around. Okay, I think I have one too. Yeah.
What do you guys think about Stranglethorn Heart? No one said anything about it.
Okay, so
well, because I'm gonna be honest, this thing is fucked, right, Joseph? This is just soul charge. Like, what the hell? Like, it's soul charge, yeah, or it cycles. Like, come on.
The thing that's freaking me out about Stranglethorn Heart is I don't know if there is a hunter deck that gets to this amount of mana. Back when I played, there was like one.
All right, so just so I can have you subscribe to my theoretical Hearthstone channel, I think Jive Insect is the better card. What's your thoughts? Will I get a shout out to Farfa Hearthstone if I make that replay?
No. Actually,
Damn, okay.
Depending on how well edited it is, I'll consider it.
You don't want to Mom, get the camera? You wouldn't subscribe for that? Unless I'm missing something completely like obvious here, this is absolutely Stranglethorn Heart, right? I know there's probably not a lot of like, you know, late game like hunter decks or something, but like all of your like there's probably some like big hunter deck, I assume, right? Like that's a word in her, so like big X, right? Like that's a thing, yeah. So there's probably some kind of like big hunter deck, and worst case scenario, if you see it too early, you just trade it.
All right, what card do you think is better?
All right. I don't know. I think he was doing some work for Jive Insect, but I could see that there is a funny scenario where Jive Insect is fine. You know, getting a rag on 5 is crazy. Tradeable is really winning me over. Like the curve topper that also can go back into the deck. The thing I want to just shotgun pick Stranglethorn Heart, but I imagine like Hunter is in a position where it kind of needs to be curving out, and being a mana back is pretty big for it. That said, yeah, I think I have to pick Stranglethorn Heart. Being able to change into a lower cost spell or win the game immediately when you cast it, which is what I imagine that it does, versus Jive Insect, which I imagine can do some funny stuff, but I wouldn't think would be like the core of a strategy.
So you think like Stranglethorn Heart is like a better win condition, and the fact that you could trade it is like really powerful.
Yeah, but I'm ready to be completely wrong because like it just turns out rag on 5 is so crazy.
Okay. One on the left is for Druid, and the one on the right is for Priest. Dredge.
Dredge!
Do you guys know what it does? There's no dredge. Oh, I guess there is in Yu-Gi-Oh, right? There's a dredge mechanic. I think I remember. Am I wrong about
There's
that?
a dredge mechanic in Magic.
There is
like
one in
Pot
Magic.
of Duality, right? Like you pick a card off the top 3 and then put the other 2 on the bottom, or put one on the bottom.
Dredge is the reverse. So you look at the bottom 3 cards of your deck and then put one on the top.
That seems like a kind of ass mechanic, but these seem very good because they're 0 mana.
I will say, as far as mechanics go, it was very good.
Anyway, Aquatic form is 0 mana. Dredge, if you have the mana to play the card this turn, draw it.
Dredge, if it's a spell, reduce its cost by 3. Wow, these are okay. I'm willing to be way off on this, but these both seem like pretty good cards.
I think they're both good. I'm gonna be honest. I think Aquatic form might be better, but like Illuminate, like hitting some crazy spell, like a 5-drop, and then just making it 2 for like the next turn after you mulligan into this turn 1 seems like very like good value. They both seem. I think these are both good cards. It's like which one's better?
Yeah, like Aquatic form is just like, I mean, it's just Pot of Duality, right? You just pick the low cost card of the 3 and you get it to your hand. You don't even have to cast it. Like it can be like a utility card and you can play it later. And then Illuminate is like, what if you get the AoE? The like, what is it? It's 2 damage to everything, Holy Light or something, and then it's immediately
Holy
on.
Nova.
Yeah, wow. These both seem pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Are Priest decks still like very spell heavy?
Well, this was in standard, yes. Currently, no. It's rotated now.
This is hard. These both seem quite strong.
Yeah, I think like the specificity of Illuminate might make it a little bit worse, but Aquatic form is like, you know, I mean, I don't know. I guess they both just do the same thing. They're very close in power.
Yeah, I think for this time, like last time I was a little bit like worried for the card evaluations. This time, now that I've seen what you guys can do, I feel like the pairs are better now. I feel like
you guys missed the last one. He was showing us like Hyreek the Bat. He was like, is this card bad? We were like, I don't know, man.
And just for context,
what if you summon 10 of it?
Joseph picked it.
Oh no! Literally lying. Literally lying. I think I have a guess here.
Okay.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah, sure.
All right, what card do you think is better?
I think they're both good, but the way I'm seeing it is like, I think Illuminate is good in some Priest decks, but Aquatic form looks like it's good in every Druid deck. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do know what you mean.
That's kind of how I'm looking at it. So for that reason, I'm gonna pick Aquatic form.
Okay. Hey, okay. What card do you think is better?
Oh man, I don't know. Like, do I have to pick one? Okay, so the problem here is I think they're both good. I remember when I played, there were like a bunch of 9 mana spells that won the game immediately in Priest, and if you cast those on 6, that seems insane. But Aquatic form is just always on curve. It's like if it's late game and you need like the big guy that wins you the game immediately, you're pretty likely to find it, and then you just get it. And if it's early game and you need like, I don't know if they still play like those 3 mana spells that just get them 16 armor in Druid, but like you could get that too. It just seems crazy. It seems like a super flexible, or a way to pivot between flexible options within your deck. So I think I have to say Aquatic form.
Okay. I'm about to drop another brand new mechanic for you guys. It's called Colossals. Farfa, did you see it when you played or no?
Yes, I did that 2-hour sponsored segment. It's a guy that summons other guys.
Okay, that's actually perfect. All right. So a Colossal, Joseph, is when it is summoned, meaning it doesn't have to be played from hand. It will summon the other parts of the Colossal.
I got a Colossal in my pants for you, Joseph.
Nice.
We got Kolak, a 7-drop 6/5, immune while you control his shell. It's a taunt and a death rattle that gains 8 armor. It's got 8 health. So Kolak summons Kolak Shell. That's why it says +1, because that's the number of Colossals. Because there's Colossal plus 4 and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
It summoned 4 more guys. Yeah, so it summons the shell, and then it dies. It gains 8 armor. It's got taunt, and he's immune while the shell's up.
And I have Blackwater Behemoth, which is a Colossal +1 and has Life Steal. It's an 8/10 for 7. And Behemoth's Lure. At the end of your turn, force a random enemy minion to attack the Blackwater Behemoth. Oh, you've got some tough ones for us.
I do.
This is... So you don't have to pay for this little second guy,
No,
right?
you do not. So anytime one of these Colossals enters the board, the other one is summoned automatically.
This is hard as hell. I like Kolak a lot. He feels like he's crazy hard to get rid of.
He is pretty hard. He's a turtle.
Nice.
And he's not the only thing in this call that's hard.
Ah, finally.
This card is actually ass. It's 7 mana and it reads gain 16 unless your opponent has a silence minion, in which case you lose the game. Whereas Blackwater Behemoth, pretty ingenious. I don't want to jerk off. Ben Brode isn't there anymore, right?
He's not.
I don't want to jerk off, the emissary of Ben Brode, but this is a really cool way to immediately get a bunch of value out of this guy's lifesteal and be like, okay, I'm priest, I've probably lost the early game because the deck is bad or has no little guys. And so I'm immediately back, functionally at full. You gain 8 when you play this card, right?
Yep. If they have a minion on
And
board.
it's sort of a removal spell. It's also sort of a removal spell. If you kill the lure, what happens? That's just it? There's no more lure?
Yeah, it's no more lure. So you would still have the Colossal on board, the Behemoth.
But you also have to kill the lure.
Right.
And so you have to have 2 minions on your side of the field. One is getting killed by the Behemoth. The second one has to walk into the lure on your turn and then dies at end step because of the Behemoth.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
I just don't know what this guy's strategy is. He just explained every single reason why Behemoth is the better card here. So I'm not sure what the point of muting and stuff is anymore right now, but fair enough. That's the strat you're going with, Joseph. Sure.
Or what card do you think is better?
I mean, there's no point in repeating what he said, but it's it's 914 worth of stats that gains 8 that instantly removes a minion, basically. But
what if he's wrong and he just
he's not wrong
and
though. This card is ridiculous.
What if everything he just said was wrong and then now you're looking like an idiot?
I mean, there's a chance, but listen, if I'm an idiot for saying that Clock isn't the better card here, then I'll hold my hands up. And then we'll make that Jive Insect channel together.
Okay. Okay, what card do you think is better?
Now I will reveal my ultimate master stroke. I knew that moron would pick the Behemoth, but Kolak is the better card.
Why?
I'm kidding. There's no way it's not Behemoth. There's no way it's not Behemoth. There's no way it's not Behemoth. It would have to be like Priest is just in the worst state in the history of time, and no one is playing this dog shit class. I can't imagine any other world.
Okay.
What did you guys even like talk about? Because Joseph just gave
the
an
weather.
explanation of the card. Did you just explain the card again? Also, what is your strategy? Why you just explained everything about this card? What is your end goal here, old man?
The end goal is to get you, Farfa, to start thinking critically about cards so that you can engage with these sorts of discussions when I upload them instead of just going, no, magic.
Joseph going one collab without mentioning that fucking game, by the way. Challenge
Hey guys,
impossible.
do you like Magic the Gathering?
Northshire Farmer. It's a 3-drop 3/3 battle cry. Choose a friendly beast and shuffle 3/3 copies. What does that mean? Does it copy it and then give it 3/3 stats, or?
It would copy the minion itself and then shuffle it as a 3/3. It doesn't keep the enchantments.
And it keeps its mana cost, I assume?
It would keep its mana cost, yeah.
Okay, and it just becomes a 3/3. Sure. All right.
This is called Enthusiastic Banker, and let me tell you, she's looking pretty enthusiastic. That's about as enthused as people that I've seen look. This card says, at the end of your turn, store a card from your deck. I don't know what that means. And And then as a death rattle, you add the stored cards to your hand.
So when you store a card, it stores it like in this card, like as a bank in this card, and then when it dies, you get those cards in your hand.
Oh, okay. I'm just reading this and I'm just feeling like that's kind of slow, but like Northshire Farmer feels infinitely slower, right?
Well, what if you copy like what do they retain the mana cost?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what if you copy like a bunch of 1-drops and all of a sudden they're like, oh, now I can play a 3/3 for 1. Like, that's got to be better than if you're just like trying to aggro them out.
I feel like getting a very specific card you need is just better, right? Multiple specific cards potentially if it lives.
Sorry,
right?
let me press a little on Banker. Do you get to pick the card?
No. This is random.
Oh, it's just random.
What?
It's
Never.
so you end your turn. It'll basically just take the top card of your deck and put it with the bag.
Oh,
you also, I'm like
awesome.
99% sure you also get to see what card that is in like the notes under the card.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I thought this card was multiple gold sarcophaguses, and I felt like I just knew the answer. But never mind. Okay, it's random.
Man, if you got to pick the card, that's insane. What?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Thought it was pretty easy as a result of that.
A friendly beast and shuffle 3/3/3 copies. I mean, I don't know. Both of these
That
cards
sucks ass too.
They both feel like kind of meh cards, but I mean, Farmer's just better. He's farming, dude. Is there question? Is there like good like targets for this?
Yeah.
Plenty. Okay.
There's also like you could look at it as like enthusiastic banker. Yeah, sure. There's probably better draw, but if you leave this on the board for like 2 turns, like you just paid 3 mana to draw 2 cards, and then you can put them in your hand whenever you want, right? And it keeps on rolling the more you want it.
I don't know. I'm ready. I have one.
Are you good? You guys both understand how both these cards interact. Make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't wait to hear what card do you think is better.
I think I like the little path you're leading us down. I respect it. To me, it strikes me as a lose con in that you would only ever really play it in like a slow ass control deck, right? Okay. That wants to like get to a position where it's going to proc like 2 or 3 times. But in those decks, you are not applying pressure and giving your opponent enough opportunities to find a silence. And if they do that, those decks like really need a bunch of their 1-ofs and like sometimes we'll just lose them to Banker. I think Northshire Farmer is dog shit. I think this card is terrible, but like I think it's better than Banker.
So you think Banker is just objectively bad to put into your deck?
I don't know if I'd say objectively bad, but like I could imagine there are a lot of scenarios where like you just get silenced for your life savings, and I would want to ensure that that does not happen to me.
Okay, fair enough. Yo, what card do you think is better?
I feel like the question is which one is worse or least good or something. You know what I mean? Like that. I think that's kind of what we're dealing with here. Oh God, I feel like just like the randomness of Banker to maybe get a card that's like probably okay, and it's like it feels like it's just a normal monster, but like its stats are 2/3 and it's a 3-drop that like maybe trades into something somewhat playable in your deck. Like it's just so random. Whereas the Northshire Farmer feels like it could actually have genuine applications in some sort of aggro deck. Like it feels like there's a strategy there. Farmer feels like it has a win con. Banker doesn't.
Interesting.
So that's kind of like
it's curious
the way
to hear
I'm trying to view it.
Both of your guys' like description of Banker is really interesting to listen to. Okay.
What did Farfa say about Bankers?
Oh, he loves them so much. Big fan. It's kind of concerning how much of a fan he is.
Tavish Stormpike, 3 mana,
Looks so
2/5.
fucking stupid.
After a friendly beast attacks, summon a beast from your deck that costs 1 less.
Oh my God. Rokara, Rush. After a friendly minion attacks and survives, give it +1/+1. Oh, golden common. What the fuck how are we feeling about this, team? Okay, let me ask about Tavish Stormpike.
Sure.
Let's say I attack with a 1-drop. Do I get anything?
If you have a 0.
If you have a 0-cost beast in your deck, yes.
What if I attack with a 2-drop? Do I get a 1-drop?
If you have a 1
Joseph,
cost,
are you reading the card?
if you
Let's say I have a 3-drop. If I attack with that 3,
How long
wait.
do we
So
keep this
okay,
going?
do I have to be playing each of the cards in my deck?
What?
Like are you asking like, can you generate beasts to put in your deck for this card?
Yeah.
Yes, you could if you wanted to.
Have you played Hearthstone before, Joseph?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like there's 3 columns and you put Spider-Man in one column.
My God, it's Spider-Man.
I don't have strong feelings about either of these. Both these fuckers look like they were made with AI art. This is like if you typed in like punk goblin into the chat GPT, it would come out with Rokara.
Really though?
Sexy
Also,
war
did you
song
just say
commander.
goblin?
Is this not a goblin? What is it?
Or
It's an orc.
Oh, they all look the same to me.
oh no.
All dwarfs look the same to me. This guy looks exactly like every other dwarf in Hearthstone.
What's the name of the guy that summons King Crush?
Bran.
Bran! Oh my God.
There's
Bran
like 4
Bronzebeard.
different brands.
Yeah, there is. There is actually.
There is, yeah. Actually, there's 3.
What
There's
is
3.
what does Bran say when you play him?
Oh,
Golden
Yes, like a-
Comet.
That's literally not it.
God, it's gonna piss. I gotta look it up. I'll look it up. He says,
do you mean
who
the good
knows
one?
what
There's-
secret we'll uncover?
Who knows what secrets we'll uncover? That's what he says.
That's pretty good.
Joseph, you got an answer for this? Because like I
I have
feel
no
like.
fucking clue. I'll take a
feel a
shot in
little
the
bit-
dark. Yeah.
All right, you do you. Wait, I'm muting first, right?
Wait. Are we both good? Do we have any other questions?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. What's like your favorite Golden Comet?
Okay, what card do you
This
think is
one-
better?
I think both these cards are ass. I don't know. I feel like
Interesting.
2/5 is. I can see Tavish Stormpike being insane in a world where he survives the turn and you just get to beat in with a 4 and summon a 3 from your deck. That seems crazy.
Okay.
But I don't know. The use case for this guy is like you play him on like 8 with like a big ass dude, and then you get a slightly smaller ass dude. Like he seems weird in that regard. It's like he can really like snowball you if you play him on 3 and you're already winning the board, but that's not a guarantee on 3 ever. I don't love him. I think Rokara like theoretically like can immediately get value because it's got rush, and like if she attacks like an X2, she immediately gets bigger. I'm gonna say Rokara is better, but I really don't know on this one. These two they escaped me.
Okay. All right. Hey, Farfoot's up.
Hello.
What card do you think is better?
Okay, so like the way I'm looking at this is like both of them feel kind of slow in the sense that like you need to already have established something. Then you summon this guy, then you attack with the other thing. So it's not like slow per se. Slow is not the right word. It needs setup. I guess both of them do need setup, and it's like I guess it just kind of boils down to like, okay, which one has the better setup? And I think like early game Rokara like might be like slightly better than Stormpike. Unless there's like specifically like really good targets for Stormpike, then Stormpike would be better, but I don't know how, like if there's like a really good like 2-drop beast that you play Tavish on the following turn that gets you a really good 1-drop beast from the deck, then that would make him really good. And I don't know if that sounds like a thing in Hunter to me.
Okay. So you're going with Rokara? I wasn't
Yeah,
sure if
they
I got
don't-
an answer there.
Yeah, they don't feel like, both of them don't feel like great to me, but I want to say Rokara might be like slightly better.
Okay. I did the same style of video with 2 Magic players, and it's just really interesting to hear your guys' thought process compared to the Magic people's thought process. Because, like, I guess Magic
I know,
is
they're
way
not,
more.
They're not
like,
used to thinking.
well, okay. I was gonna say Magic just plays a lot more similar to Hearthstone, so I can see where like the translation happens. Where it's interesting to hear like how you guys are coming up with the evaluation for these cards. It's also very interesting that when you guys are together, you guys both just shoot the shit, and the second like you go into a call by yourself, both of you like start talking about the card.
8-drop, High Exarch Yrel. God, I love Yrel. Such a bay. Battle Cry, if your deck has no neutrals, gain... Wait, no neutral... Oh, so Paladin only cards.
Racist Paladin,
Gain... What did you say?
Racist
Do they call
paladin.
this racist paladin? That's such a good name. Yo, Farfa, you'd love this list, man. It's the paladin ethno state.
You know what's really funny? Like, I'm gonna be like the WoW lore guy for this like video, but like this is actually very relevant to Yrel in the story. Like, she is literally a racist.
Is she racist?
She's racist.
Oh,
That's
so
why
let
I
me
love
wait.
her.
Hold
Sorry,
on.
wait, that came out wrong.
Play back the tape. This you started by saying Yrel is bae, right?
So she gains everything: Rush, Lifesteal, Talent, and Divine Shield.
And then the other guy is G'huun, the Blood God. This guy is bae. I mean, he's not attractive, but at least he's not problematic. He's an 8-drop, 8/8. Says Battle Cry, draw 2 cards. They cost health instead of Mana. Oh.
These cards specifically.
Gold.
All right, I'm going to go on a limb here. I think both of these cards are very good.
They seem quite good, yeah. Ah, man, this is hard. I guess high Exarch Yrel, a lot comes down to how many good neutrals there are. And I've always said that there's no such thing as a good neutral, personally. So
What do you mean Paladin
I think
cards?
I have my pick.
Like, the Paladin cards have to be better than the neutral cards to warrant playing a neutralist deck.
Do you guys still have Consecration?
Yeah, 3 mana.
All right, I've made my decision. Yeah?
G'huun is like canonically stronger than Yrel, so you can do without what you want.
I actually don't think there's much that's stronger than the purity of a
Whoa! Purity of what?
of an aggressive curve.
Of a Draenei ethno-state. Okay.
Oh my god. Wait, okay, hold up. What race is Yrel?
Draenei.
Draenei,
Okay, they're like actually racist in lore, right? If we have any Draenei viewers, let us know.
They probably are probably against orcs. And who likes
just did
orcs
an
anyway?
orc.
Half those cards have like Russian charge, so I mean she's kind of got a point, right?
Oh my god.
Wait, what's like the most
Holy.
hated thing in her? Is it rush charge? Is it charge or taunt? Which one's like more annoying?
Charge, probably people hate more.
Depend. The
People hate-
charge,
Okay.
yeah.
People hate losing.
Wow.
Okay, I have an actual question about G'huun.
Sure.
So like, you know, like the political like graph spectrum thing. Would he be left or right of Yrel?
That's a good question. I need that answered too before I can move on.
God, you know what? I don't even think he knows what politics really are. I think he's just kind of there for blood.
I think if you're a blood god, you're definitely like.
He's like, when you talk to G'huun, he's like, hey, I try to stay out of politics. I'm just all about slaughter. This one's really hard. I think that there are scenarios where G'huun's crazy. Like you draw like a secret 9-drop spell and you just get to cast it. That seems insane. I feel like it has a huge immediate board impact because like if you draw guys, you can just cast them. I think Yrel's nuts. I can't imagine a world in which this card isn't insane. It just like immediately gains you 1 billion life.
At the cost of
I
not
think-
running a single neutral card.
What can I say? I believe in racial purity. You know, that's all I have to say about that.
Caught. What card do you think is better?
Okay, so personally, I think G'huun is way cooler because I love activating cards for free.
Okay.
And it seems like really insane in that way. But it feels like it would definitely be something you'd play in like a gimmick deck. Maybe not gimmick actually. Maybe he is played. But I think like the randomness is what kind of maybe it's not really that random because I mean you could get 2 bad cards, whereas like Yrel guarantees that you're going to out something with Divine Shield, gain the life, and then you keep a taunt on field with full stats that your opponent then has to deal with, probably by giving you more lifesteal. I think Yrel is like just a kind of an incredible card. But G'huun is very, very cool. Ras Frost Whisper.
Wow.
Okay, question. This is not actually based on Rasputin, right? Because he came into my head when I saw this.
I could probably give you a guarantee that it's not.
Yeah, okay. I guess this is at the end of your turn. You are not the lover of the Russian queen. It is a 5-drop that deals one. This is a mate. At the end of your turn, deal 1 to all enemies, improved by spell damage.
Okay, I gotta clarify one thing on Ross. Ross is a mage and a shaman card. Jandice is a mage and rogue card.
Sorry, that is the dumbest name.
Jandice Barov says, Battle Cry, summon 2 random 5-cost minions. Secretly pick one that dies when it takes damage. Huh. Well, I've got my pick.
That's pretty. I just want to say, like, it's such a cool card because that is exactly how the boss works in the game. Like, she summons a bunch of mirages of herself. It's pretty cool. Card's dog shit.
It doesn't seem very good. Wait, but what if she's a 5-drop? That's a lot of stats on turn 5.
All right, I'm gonna go mute now. You don't have to keep pretending anymore. Good luck.
Okay, what card do you think is better?
Okay, I don't think it's that hard. Like, I don't think it's that far apart. I think that like there's a world in which Jandice is really good, but I think that it's Ross. I think.
Why do you think Ross is better?
He kind of, you know, he seems good. This guy is just like a flame strike with extra steps that also contests aggro boards. Jandice, on the other hand, I feel like there's got to be a lot of 5-drops, and there's got to be a lot that suck. And I guess, oh man, now I'm kind of talking myself into Jandice. That's a lot of stats, though. No, I'm gonna say it's Ross.
Okay. All right. Oh my god.
Question, is there passive spell damage in Hearthstone? Like just a card that says like gain spell damage for like it always has to be a minion that's giving you spell damage, like that skeleton guy, for example, right?
There are ways of getting spell damage without actually having a minion on board, but like 99% of the time, you will have to have a minion on board that has spell damage.
So like, yeah, Ross is basically just an AoE of deal 1 to everything. To all enemies, which is, I think, just by itself, worst case scenario, like kind of decent. But even if you improve it just by 1 point of spell damage, dealing 2 to everything is like kind of nuts. I think he's like far superior to Jandice. He might not even be that good. It's just I think Jandice is just kind of really dog shit.
Okay, why do you think Jandice is bad?
It's just 2 random 5-cost minions. 5 isn't that high enough to like warrant like potentially. I mean, you could high roll some nutty minions. But even then, like, one of them is just going to instantly die. Yeah, the randomness is really what kind of feel... Okay, so... I'm kind of, like, second-guessing myself, because you get to pick the one that dies when it takes damage, actually.
That is also true, yeah.
Yeah.
There is a case, by the way, where Jandice can summon Ross.
Oh, that's very funny.
that could happen.
Yeah, you know, what's in the box? But that's never a good answer in Hearthstone, is what's in the box, right?
Okay.
Like,
so you're going with Ross?
Yeah, I think Jandice is a lot better than I initially gave her credit for, but I'm pretty sure Ross has to be better.
Okay. Ooh. One more card, boys. I can't wait to give you the answers for these. This is crazy. Okay.
Is someone like significantly far or behind or something?
You guys are actually really close. Really close.
Like, I don't like hearing that.
It actually might come down to this. It might come down to this.
Neck and neck.
Both these are priest cards.
Soul Mirror. Summon copies of enemy minions. They okay.
You want to finish saying that out loud? What happened?
They attack their copies.
Okay. I want to make it very clear, by the way, that's a legendary spell. The other one is not.
Ah, yes, of course. The secret rare has to be better than the super rare. True.
The second one is called Repackage, and it says stuff. Okay, stuff.
That's
all
what you do to my content.
Box.
Sorry, go on.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm just champing at the bit to make another masochist ripoff. 2-cost box, then shuffle it into the opponent's deck. You know, 2-cost box is what they called me in college as well. What is 2-cost box? What does that refer to?
You remember the card Psychic Scream, Joseph? Remember that card? Where it shuffle. Yes. So it's the same concept, but rather than shuffling the minions individually, it would shuffle them into a 2-cost spell. And if you draw that spell, you could then play 2 mana to get all those minions back into your hand.
Into your hand?
Into your hand. They don't get played back on the board.
That's hard. This is a difficult one.
Okay, so like Soul Mirror is very good removal, but Repackage is also very good removal. That just gives you the cards. I'm struggling to see.
Yeah, I have my pick.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
You don't want to talk about it? I'm just trying to double take here and make sure that I'm like not understanding.
Again, this could be the difference of winning, losing, or tying.
Mm-hmm.
Winning, losing, or tying. Wow. Oh.
Which doesn't mean anything.
So summoning copies of enemy minions means that it also gains all of the enchantments and stuff, right?
Yeah, every death rattle, everything on the card.
Yeah, I know what I want.
Okay, perfect. You good?
Yeah, let's do it.
What card do you think is better?
It's Repackage. Soul Mirror keeps all the stuff on it. It doesn't remove Divine Shield guys. It triggers death rattles. I guess there's some scenarios where like you could profit off of that if you're playing like guys with powerful death rattles, but you know, text on cards is already good. So I imagine your opponents are going to be playing cards that like resist removal in some way or plus off of dying. Correct me if I'm wrong. Repackage, it like it functionally silences them, right?
Yeah, so like death rattles would not proc, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. That's crazy. You have to draw the card, and then when you draw the card, it costs you mana to get the minions back. It costs you mana to develop the board. I imagine you're playing this as like a slow removal spell where you will then take over the game with like big guys or big spells. And it's hard for, even if you immediately draw the 2-drop, to be like, okay, pay 2, pay like a couple 1-drops out, see what happens. I think Repackage is way better.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, what card do you think is better?
Okay, I read Soul Mirror and I thought it was like actually kind of crazy, but then I read Repackage and I'm struggling to see the downside like of what Repackage is, because Soul Mirror can still keep a bunch of bodies on the field, but Repackage just clears everything. It doesn't trigger any Reborn, Death Rattle. It dodges all of like the on death things.
You're right.
And it clears the full field. I think like while Repackage is like probably really good and maybe even better than Soul Mirror in against certain minions, Soul Mirror creating a field for you, I think is also really important, because you can like play Soul Mirror and then maybe do like some stupid priest spell like Circle of Healing, like heal all the guys up that you just stole, for example. It might be like stealing a bunch of taunts, for example, stealing a bunch of like Reborns or Death Rattles and stuff like that would trigger for you as well, right? Not your opponent, because they're your monsters now. Yeah.
So you're gonna go with Soul Mirror.
I think it's Soul Mirror, but like Repackage does definitely have like a lot of good things going for it as well, I'd say.
Okay. No, I like one of the points you brought up was really interesting. The fact that you get to build your board. We are good. All right, boys. Congratulations. You made it all the way through. I hope this was fun, just like last time. Had such a good time.
What do you mean last time? I had a great time for the first time.
You're so
The
right.
reason this was better is there was so much less sex jokes.
The last one, I will say, everyone, you were robbed of legitimately like 40 minutes of me hitting on Farfa. It made me uncomfortable.
Put like the first half on like the alt channel or something. What is it? Ranch's Ranch highlights or something.
I would actually get that shit. I would get that shit off of your hard drive immediately.
All right. Both of these cards were introduced pretty recently. And even though it's been about a month and a bit, there's been one card that has been a clear defined better card than the other one. Observers of Mysteries has only really seen play when it is generated or discover for a less mana cost. At 3 mana, the card is kind of weird because like, yeah, one of you brought it up that like your opponent just doesn't have to interact with it, and then like it's just a 3-mana 2/2. The real thing about Mysteries though is that it kind of stops your opponent from playing their turn, and because they have to think about like, oh, could it be counterspell, could it be like, I don't know, freezing trap, etc., etc. It makes your opponent have to like just hope that it's not a secret that just loses them the game. That being said, it's not good enough. Malefic Rook, what did I just say? Rook actually sees competitive play and just won a tournament this past weekend, because there's a deck that basically you want to get your life total as far down as possible so you can summon Molten Giants, because they brought it back into the standard. Joseph, you'll remember what that is.
Handlock is back.
Handlock is back.
I don't know what that means.
Molten Giant is a card that costs less the less health you have. So there's a lot of ways to actually manipulate a really big board with Molten Giant. And there's great ways of just, piling on the damage and just going for a huge swing turn. So both of you picked it. So which means that both of you have 1 point.
Off to a good start.
Okay, now we go to Void Scripture and Runic Adornment. We'll start off with Void Scripture. Void Scripture is a very, very, very good card. The fact is, it might be one of the best mage cards I've ever seen added to this game. It is 2 mana to discover a spell, and the later you go into the game, the better it is, because you're not only looking at 3-cost cards or less, and more importantly, at 10 mana, if you pick like an 8-cost spell, you get to cast that for free, and then you get to play another one. The card is absolutely insane.
Hold on. Void Scripture casts the card for free?
Yeah, we clarified that.
We literally said this.
We literally said we said that for sure.
But what was the whole point of the if you have enough mana clause? I assumed that
so if
you have enough mana,
so you don't get a 7-drop on turn 2.
Yeah,
it's like financing. You don't need to pay for it. They just need to know that you can pay for it.
Man, I done fucked up.
Yeah, you would know this if you paid more attention to your enthusiastic banker.
What can I say, man? I'm just not that adorable.
Right. That being said, Runic Adornment is a card that's never really seen any play, unfortunately.
Weird.
It had like an archetype kind of get brought for it during the expansion it was added, but yeah, compared to Void Scripture, like it's not even close. And Joseph was the only one that picked it. I guess Farfa just didn't understand the card entirely. So Joseph.
What's new?
So Joseph.
That can't be. That's not the Farfa I know.
Both of you picked Stranglethorn Heart, and I think from an audience perspective, it was pretty funny because both of you are super wrong. Now, the concept of Stranglethorn Heart is really cool. The real problem with it is like you don't really need to pay for this to kill your opponent. There's way better effects. And they did print a lot of really big beasts for this expansion, and it just never paid off for Hunter. Jive Insect, even though I wouldn't call it a necessarily like insane card, again, just saw play in a tournament, and overall has just been a better card because summoning Ragnaros for 5 mana is actually pretty decent. None of you picked it.
It makes sense
We're
as
done.
well, because if you have something that you got a lot of value off of and now it has low health, you can just like Jive it on the following turn. That makes a lot of sense. You know what it is? It's
Jive it.
Yugi brain. For any Yu-Gi-Oh players watching, you think Soul Charge, you think to yourself that shit's broken.
So Dredge as a mechanic, like I said before, was a really great mechanic. It's super fun to play with, and it adds a lot of like consistency to your deck, even though you're only looking at the bottom 3 cards. Illuminate has the potential to be so powerful. It is a card that can discount, and mana cheating in card games is like the greatest thing ever amongst every card game except for Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't even know if you can mana cheat in Yu-Gi-Oh. But
I know.
because mana doesn't exist.
I know.
But if you ask a Magic player, Rokara player, Hearthstone player, basically any game that actually has a mana resource, mana cheating is obviously really, really powerful. But Aquatic Form is arguably the best Druid spell ever printed. That card is gonna see play in Wild till the day the game dies. And most importantly, in Standard, it saw play in basically every deck because it's 0 mana to draw a card that you can play, which is insane. Like it's absolutely incredible. Plus you get the Discover option as well. Really, really powerful card. It saw play consistently for the entire time it was in Standard. Illuminate did see play, but not nearly as much as Aquatic Form. Both of you picked it. Both of you got a point.
We have
I thought you would
duality.
go for
I don't know.
Illuminate.
What?
Why?
I thought Joseph was gonna go for Illuminate.
Why do you think
I
that?
don't know. You seemed really into the mana cheat.
I was, but I mean
kinda-
duality, man.
I also think you just, while you were describing what card you thought was better, you kind of just like talked yourself into form. Kolag versus Blackwater Behemoth. Both of you shitting on the turtle. Absolutely disgusting, if I may add. But you guys are both right. This card was this card was really, really bad. It's really crazy too, because if you look at all the Colossals and you look at Kolag, you're like, what? Like, why did they make this card? I guess the thought
Like this one sucks ass.
yeah, it was, and the crazy thing about it is when they released this expansion, I believe that's the Colossal they showed first. So like, it was really strange. And I guess the dream of Kolag is like you ramp, you play this card, you establish yourself on board, and then your opponent can just never really develop because you keep trading with it. But it doesn't really ever work like that. Blackwater Behemoth, both of you realized pretty quickly that it is a must kill card and you get life and you remove. It is absolutely insane compared to Kolag. I don't know if it's the best Colossal, but it's definitely one of the better ones. We go to Farmer and Enthusiastic Banker. Arguably one of the most interesting things I've heard from both of you was how like belittling you were to the banker. I don't know what your guys' fucking problem was. She's all right. She's definitely not the greatest card in the world.
What's your issue? What's your issue with bankers, Farfa? Be specific.
Too slow, man. Too slow. Are we talking like interest rate bankers or like Hearthstone bankers? Mortgage Andes, like, you know, the interest rate's too high. Fuck bankers. So it is
Mortgage
what it is.
Andes. What the fuck?
Okay.
Speak normal.
Enthusiastic Banker, unfortunately, is a card that has a lot of potential, just like your investments, but obviously just fails miserably and you're not getting any return. Northshire Farmer at least had some synergy with a very powerful card, which I'm going to show you guys because I don't know if any of you guys have seen this. Do any of you guys watch South Park by chance or no?
Yeah, when I was like 12.
Yeah, I was gonna say like in '99.
XD. Have you
When I
guys seen,
used to be homophobic.
have you guys seen
Yeah,
the
like 3 weeks ago.
Have you guys seen the
Yeah, I
World
watched
of
the
Warcraft
recent season.
episode? Or no?
Yes! The
Oh
Stick
my
of
god,
Truth.
this is so
Oh my
funny.
So that card was specifically played for the Elwyn Boar combo. Now, it didn't really last too long in the deck. There were better options for this. Elwyn Boar is a real win condition, by the way. That was a meta deck. It was very powerful. All the way
Was it
to-
meta?
That's so
Okay.
funny.
It was Farmer was used to obviously get more Boars into the deck, but then there were better cards for the Priest deck to use for that. But Farmer did see more play than the Enthusiastic Banker. Both of you picked the Farmer.
Wait,
I'm waiting.
that's so fun. Wait, are these like the boars? They were like, we have to kill these boars
Yeah.
until we hit a certain level. That's so cute. Holy
And then
fuck.
the Sword of the Thousand Truths is the one that Randy gets at the end.
Oh,
that he
isn't
hacks
it like
in.
attack your opponent, you win the game?
It's attack your opponent, they lose all their mana crystals, and you do 15 damage.
Oh,
That's
so you just
so
reset the
funny.
duel. That's very, yeah.
Oh, you don't
that's
reset the
crazy.
duel. They go to 0. You keep your mana. You win that game. If you get the
Yeah,
sword,
you reset their game. Yeah, yeah.
it's pretty much over. Yeah, it's. I'm so surprised the deck was actually playable at some point. But yeah, the Farmer, even though it did get cut, did see more play. Both of you picked it. Both of you get a point. Joseph is still 1 point ahead. Okay.
Get something wrong, idiot.
We move on to Tavish.
I mean, this next one I might.
Oh, okay. This one's very, very interesting. We go for Tavish, Stormpike, and Rokara. Now, it's very interesting to hear how you guys both spoke about Tavish. I think one of the things you guys, as far as I'm concerned, you didn't realize is that like you're also drawing a card as you're playing it. So like you're just thinning out your deck as you're developing tempo, which could be very good. But unfortunately, that never actually paid off for Tavish. Rokara actually was a very, very good card. Both of you thought it was like whatever, but it was better than Tavish. If you have other minions on the board and you play Rokara and your opponent you go face with your minions, they all get +1/+1. So it's a very snowbally card that can keep on building a board, and your opponent basically has to answer Rokara. Rokara was a meta card. Both of you picked it. You both get a point.
Yay.
Nice.
I don't even know what the score is, but Joseph is still 1 foot above.
Okay.
All right, InfoWars matchup. Let's go.
Yrel versus G'huun. Both of these cards.
What did you just say?
G'huun! No, his name's not G'huun.
I call him G'huun.
my
It's
boy
like,
dirty.
Drop that
it's like G'huun. I think it's how you actually pronounce
is
it.
G'huun,
No,
yeah.
that's
I
cringe
will
as
be
fuck,
calling
so
him G'huun.
His name is G'huun. His name is G'huun.
The Goonie.
No one has time to add that little like emphasis on the H. I don't know. Anyways.
Oh, but I've always got time to Goon.
Me with a silent H in my name be like.
Okay.
Is that
so
Natter?
Yrel versus G'huun. Let's start with G'huun first. I'm really shocked that both of you guys looked at this card and didn't think it was very strong. It is an 8-man.
What? What are you talking about?
right. I said it was
specifically
all right.
It was good.
Okay,
what
fine.
do you mean?
I'll take it back. Compared to Yrel, both of you thought G'huun was worse,
Yeah.
which I am kind of shocked because this card is an 8-mana 8/8, which basically gives you, and I'm using quotations here, 2 free cards that you can cast on your turn. And it's not just spells. It can be minions that impact the board immediately. But the thing is, it never saw any play. I actually don't know why. I think it's more just because there's just better stuff you could do in Priest, and the inconsistency of what cards you could draw does actually matter. Yrel basically made an archetype called Racist Paladin. There are other cards that supported it. Paladin has so many good class cards currently that, or not currently, when this card was in the game, or in Standard, I should say, that it supported the archetype. Even though it wasn't like the greatest in the world, it was really, really powerful if you got to the point where you can play this. Both of you picked Yrel. Both of you got a point. Joseph
Wait,
still has
how
one.
are
has
you
been
going to
defeated.
start?
Wait, what?
How are you going to start by being like, I can't believe neither of you guys thought that G'huun was good.
I'm
I mean,
sorry,
he's not good, but
It's all about the reality, bro.
seems
The
pretty
reality-
believable.
It's the reality TV show. I gotta keep people on their toes.
Oh man.
I was on your side, dude. Didn't I tell you like G'huun is like a card that I think is very cool, but probably not good?
Yeah.
I know
I
that's
how
like
you
a
feel
gimmicky
about
card.
gooning.
This one, I was actually baffled by both of you. Both of you picked Ross, which
We're so wrong. Fuck.
which you guys are so wrong. It's crazy how wrong you guys were. Let me explain Jandice for you. You play 5 mana to get 2 5-drops. Both the 5-drops, if they have a death rattle, an effect, doesn't matter what it is, you get those effects with it. On top of it, your opponent then has to decipher which minion it has to hit in order for it to do 1 damage to kill it. But then on top of that, Jandice also could be shadow stepped, which I don't know if Farfa, if you know what that is, but if you
I know
shadow
Shadow Step.
yeah, if you shadow step Jandice, not only does your opponent have to deal with the first board, they have to deal with the second board. And it gets really frustrating. Also, I told Farfa this, Joseph, but Jandice could technically summon Ross Frost Whisperer, which should have been obvious why she was infinitely better. But Jandice was the only one of, I think, all of these cards I've shown you to actually be nerfed. I'm scrolling through
Oh
all of them.
god! Wow, what did it used to do?
It used to, well, this is what it was, and then they nerfed it to 6 mana because at 5 mana it was too powerful, and at 6 mana it was still played a ton. Could win you the game on itself. Like the card was absolutely insane.
God, we're stupid.
None
We're
of you picked
so
it.
You know what
dumb.
it is? I have a bias against random cards. I think is kind of what my thing is. Like I
Which is
like
fair.
consistency, so I
But
think maybe that's what tripped
Unless
me up.
both of your 5-drops were bad, like, which is, you know, it could happen, but it wasn't very likely. You just pick the one that's bad to just die in 1 hit, and then you get to keep the other one. None of you picked it, therefore none of you get a point. Joseph is still ahead by 1. We go on
Alright, so
to,
basically now it's going to be a draw. Best case scenario for me.
well, I will say that one of you picked a different card than the other one. So
Okay.
it
Here we
could be a tie, could be a win, could be an L. We'll see. Soul Mirror versus Repackage. Now this one's going to be a little bit more difficult because Repackage was just added to the game, but Soul Mirror was around for like 2 years ago. I think it finally rotated. Soul Mirror is one of the best cards Priest has ever received. This card was fucking insane. The fact is, Joseph, I don't think you realize this. Farfa at least mentioned it to me, was that it builds your own board so that not only do you get to kind of like remove your opponent's board, but you also develop something behind it. And often if you're playing Soul Mirror, worst case scenario is you just get the bunch of minions that your opponent then has to respond to as well. Best case scenario, you get their board and then you kill their minions on top of it. So then now you're ahead and your opponent has to respond. Repackage has been in the game for about a month and a half at this point, has not seen like any play. And that might be the case of what the meta game really is. It's just that you might die and people don't really care about the board too much right now. So Repackage hasn't seen its place, but currently, as we're talking about both of these cards, Soul Mirror was played consistently throughout the 2 years it was in the game. So Soul Mirror does get the point for now. Now, I will let this slide for a comments if people can, you know, make, I don't know, people can let me know in the comments if they think Repackage is like on par, et cetera, et cetera. But Farfa did pick Soul Mirror and Joseph picked Repackage. So technically speaking, you guys did tie.
Oh man, I can't believe
I gotta
it.
tie the knot with this, dude. All right, I guess.
Dude, let's go.
Yeah, this again, I would like to see what comments actually have to say. Again, I think maybe in the future Repackage would slightly be better than Soul Mirror, but I can't understate how good Soul Mirror actually was. It was a game-winning card. It was very, very powerful. Okay, cool. All right. I hope you guys have fun.